Good morning, students. So I shall continue with solving the problems in the exercises of chapter number 3, that is a revision tour to Web programming using NetBeans. Now all of you visit page number 90 and refer to question number 19. The question says, what will be displayed in the JText area 1 control after the execution of the following code? Now this is the piece of Java code that they were talking about. Once this entire piece of Java code gets executed, we need to find out the final value that shall be displayed in this JText area 1 control. Now the first statement declares a variable z and then initializes the variable z with the value 1. And that I have represented it here. The next part of the Java code shows the do-while loop. This do-while loop consists of two Java statements inside the body of this loop. The first Java statement consists of a postfix notation called G++. Now why is this G++ termed as a postfix notation? This is because in this case the operand called G is appearing before the operator called ++. The operand G here denotes the variable G, which has been declared and initialized as the first Java statement in this piece of code. Now since this is a postfix notation, that's why at first the value of this operand called G will be assigned to this text area control known as JText area 1 using the setText method. Since the value that G holds is equal to 1, so this JText area 1 control will now hold the value 1, and that is clearly represented here. The JText area 1 control is holding the value 1. Now as soon as this value contained in this variable called G from this postfix notation gets stored into this text area control, the ++ operator here increases or increments the value of this variable called G by 1. Since the variable G already holds the value 1, so G++, which denotes G equal to G plus 1, will now hold the value 2. So as of now, the value contained in this variable called G has been first assigned into this JText area 1 control. Since the value that this variable G holds is 1, that's why the JText area 1 control holds the value 1. And after that, using this ++ operator of this postfix notation, the value of the variable G is incremented by 1 to give the new value of the variable G as 2. So from this particular Java statement, we got the value of the text area control, which is JText area 1, as 1, and the value after the variable G has been incremented by 1 becomes 2. Now just after this statement gets executed, the execution of this Java statement starts, which then again increases the value of the variable G by 1. Now as the previous value for the variable G was 2, so increasing it by 1 sets the new value for G as 3. So once this Java statement gets executed, we got the new value for the variable G as 3. Now once the execution of these two Java statements ends, the while statement checks the condition whether the value contained in the variable z is less than or equal to 5 or not. Now that the recent value for the variable z is 3, so obviously 3 is less than 5. So this condition holds true, and I have represented it here like this: z less than or equal to 5 holds true. Now when this while statement will hold true, then the control will again jump to the starting of the do while loop, enter inside its body and execute both these Java statements again. This time this piece of Java statement will first assign the value of this variable called z into the JTextArea1 control. As the recent value for this variable called z is 3, so the variable z holding the value 3 will then be assigned into this JTextArea1 control. As a result, this JTextArea1 control will now hold the value 3. And after that, this plus plus operator shall increase the value of this variable called z by 1. And this increases the value of the variable called z from 3 to 4. Again, once this statement gets executed, this particular Java statement starts, and then it again increases the value of the variable z by 1. As the recent value for the variable z is 4, so increasing it by 1 sets the new value for this variable z as 5. It then again checks the condition in this while statement. The condition says whether the value of this variable called z is less than or equal to 5 or not. Now as the value contained in the variable z is 5, then obviously z holding the value 5, will satisfy this condition. This is because even if 5 is not less than 5, 5 is still equal to 5. So z less than equal to 5 holds true with the value of z being 5. And that is represented here like this: z less than equal to 5 holds true. And since this condition holds true, so the control shifts again to the beginning of the do while loop and then jumps inside the body of this do while loop and executes these two Java statements again. The first Java statement will again store the value of this variable z contained in this postfix notation into this JTextArea1 control. Since the recent value contained in the variable z is 5, so the value 5 shall be added into this JTextArea1 control. The next part of the postfix notation, which is plus plus, increases the value of the variable z by 1, and that is clearly shown here. The value of this variable z has been increased or incremented by 1 to give the new value of the variable z as 6. As the old value of the variable z was 5, so increasing it by 1 sets the new value of z as 6 using this postfix notation, that is g++. As soon as this statement gets executed, the execution of this Java statement starts, which again increases the value of the variable z by 1. Now as the old value for the variable z is 6, so increasing it by 1 sets the new value for the variable z as 7. And just as both these statements got executed, the condition in this while statement is again checked, whether the value contained in this variable z is less than or equal to 5. Now as the recent value for this variable z is 7, then 7, which is the value of this variable called z, is neither less than 5 nor equal to 5. As a result, this time this condition holds false, as z holds the value 7 and 7 is neither less than 5 nor equal to 5, so this condition definitely holds false. After that, the control will never move to the beginning of the do-while loop to execute these two Java statements inside the body of this do-while loop. So once the condition returns false, the do-while loop will stop immediately at this point, and jumping to the beginning of the do-while loop stops. As a result, the looping stops, and I have clearly represented that false condition here. So the condition z less than or equal to 5 will now return false. Now, as asked in this question, we are required to find the final value stored in this JTextArea1 control after the execution of this piece of Java code. Now just before this piece of condition, which is z less than or equal to 5, holds false, the value contained in the JTextArea1 control was 5, and that's why the JTextArea1 control will hold the value 5 after the execution of the code. Now that's all for today, and with this I end my presentation here.